Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. So, may I introduce you a very nice, refurbished, cleaned, lubricated 1959 Triangle R52 Jinty locomotive. I'm running it on a Mehano controller, so not more than 25%. Okay, and you can hear that the wheels with the very deep flanges are not touching the sleeper shoes on the track. Why? Because we've got a length of old Fleischmann track and 2 lengths of Jouef, and there the rail profile is high enough to accommodate these very deep flanges, which are as deep as the ones on some older Jouef plastic wheels, and also on the JJ. In this JJ locomotives, the BB 9240, the rubber band driven one, at the moment it doesn't have any elastic bands because they've decayed. If I put this is Lima track over here, and if I put this on these lengths of late 70s Lima track on the straights, you can hear that the flanges are touching the sleeper shoes, so that's no use. In fact, I've removed all straights like this from, I had already removed them because there was the Jouef 231C60 tender was touching, and so I think there's only a couple of points in sidings where they're there. But if I put this locomotive on here, on this track, Jouef and Fleischmann, no problem at all, you see? And the same applies to the Jinty. So I've been testing track because I want to make the 80 by 120 layout, and I've been testing the track in my possession at the moment, to see how the Jinty and the Triangle stock run on the various types of track I have. Of course, Lima straights, no old Lima curves. The ones that are on the Brunel layout should be okay, but we'll have to take the layout, put the layout in position and test this locomotive there once I get the bodywork back on. Jouef track 100% is okay. Mehano, I tested some curved parts. It seems to be okay, but one thing is just to run the locomotive on it, without the motor connected, just pushing it, and the other thing is to actually run the locomotive on it properly. So we'll have to see, because on the 80 by 100 layout, which will be both used both for double O and HO, of course I want to have track which is compatible with Triangle flanges. And because I'll be running both, country line, and Jouef track is actually very good quality. I like Jouef track, so we might even be looking up some Jouef track, which is very cheap. But I'll see what I've got. I have some lengths. I mean, it's also a very small layout, so I don't need to worry too much. But I'd like to not have rumbling things. Okay, so I've not fitted the bodywork yet. Here it is. Now that it's nice and clean, I want to paint the engine number on the smoke box door, and also the local shed number, so that'll be a wee job we'll do together using the nib pen. Then I also want to pick out in brass paint the whistle, because the safety valves are turned brass, but the whistle isn't. And I'm also going to pick out the window frames, the brass window frames of the front and the rear of the cab. course, the rear of the cab should also have some bars. There should be some bars fitted over there as well. We'll have a look at some pictures, and then anyway, we can, the bodywork, you can take the bodywork of a Jinty off with one screw, so there's no problem. It's not difficult at all. It's very easy to remove. And so I'm planning to maybe improve this locomotive a bit, maybe fit some headlamps, some lamps at the front, or at least one lamp. I'll try and see what's prototypical for the kind of wagons it's going to be hauling. And also there should be a big pipe, copper pipe here, and I'm thinking to rebuild that, to make that using some copper wire that I have, and I could actually make that and install it. But so anyway, for the moment it's okay like this, but we'll definitely do the wee paint job on it. We'll do the paint job, the engine number and the window frames, definitely, and that way we're ready to go. But there will be a lot of extra detailing to fit here, vacuum hoses, you know, at least make the hook and the 3-link coupling somehow. It's very, very bare. It's a very simple model, but that's why it stood the test of time so much. This is in polystyrene, so there's no warping. It's not the acetate version. Acetate version tends to go bananas, let's say. Okay, so that's that for the moment. I hope you enjoyed all this but relatively, not really too long. It wasn't like, you know, a soap opera, or like some of the other how do you call them, playlists I've made. So with a million episodes, like when we made the rail car, the homemade, the scratch built rail car, the Italian rail car. That was a long thing. That was like, I don't know, Dallas, Coronation Street, take the high road, and Derry Girls all wound up into one, to quote a few a few famous soap operas. I didn't mention anything Australian, but I know Australia's also, there was MacLeod's Daughters. I remember seeing that on the telly here in Italy. It was set in the outback, MacLeod's Daughters. It's a very good looking one as well. I remember one of the sisters, she was a real cracker. She was a good looker. I don't remember. MacLeod's Daughters. Maybe Stephen from Australia, you can maybe tell me if that's the name of the thing. When I used to watch TV years and years ago, I don't watch it anymore. Okay, anyway, apart from that, my blethering about television programs, I wanted to show you one last thing, because we have the 00 locomotive, so we have to have some rolling stock as well. So here we've got a Hornby wagon. It's a, let me count, I'm trying to count, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plank wagon. It's a Hornby 6 plank wagon. This has got Hornby metal spoked wheels, so the flanges are short, so there's no problem. These ones run even on the Lima track here. You can see that. If we were to fit this on the Lima track, it'd be rumble. But here we are. So let's go forward, and then we'll couple up to Bestwood Ironworks. Beautiful coupling. The D coupling is, I've been testing it these days. Honestly, it's bulky, it's very visible, but it's an excellent coupling. I mean, look at it. And it also has another advantage. They're all at the same height, and even if they're slightly bent, I would say it's not a fussy coupling. Because sometimes, I mean, I'm using European type coupling, and we want to couple up Jouefs to Limas, and things are not compatible because we're pre-NEM. We Klein bands and Limas couple together, no problem. Other things don't want to couple up. Generally, the Pico couples up quite well. Jouefs only want, you know, like the French, they like to do things among each other. They're very national, you know, a bit chauvinistic as well. I'm joking, of course. If there are any French viewers, it's a joke. I mean, I like France, and I collect quite a lot of French rolling stock and locomotives. I really appreciate them, and but let's say that they like to. Hello, is this going? Testing because and anyway, I want to thank everybody who gave me advice, who suggested what to do, gave me tips. I've thanked you all individually in the various other episodes of this series, and that's that. What else can we say? Nice locomotive. I'm enjoying it. The only thing I have to get is a triangle style uncoupler. So at the moment we just have to do like that. Oops, I coupled up again. I like these D-rings, they're good. There we go. They're big, they're bulky, but they're actually good fun. There we go, coupled up. And nice and quiet. So yes, I can confirm that a Jinty, a triangle, if well lubricated, well cleaned, it's an excellent runner. And we're really going at very low speed. And it's actually quite nicely geared even for higher speed, this one here. It's not really a pocket rocket, huh? Because it has quite a large diameter drive gear down here, so it's not too, it's quite low geared. Okay, so that's that. Thank you very much for your attention, and we'll get the cab tarted up as well, and then we'll get this back on the bodywork back on top, and we'll get it on the layout. Anyway, in the next days I'm going to be starting work drilling holes on the layout, on the Brunel layout at least for the moment, to see how to install the wiring for the street lights, and then we'll see what to do there, and we'll be able to test the triangle locomotive and stock on the main Brunel layout, and see how it gets on. And so we've got this, we've got a couple of coaches over there that we're going to have to be doing some jobs on. You saw them in the previous video, and some more surprises. Okay, cheerio, and see you next time. Ciao, ciao. I'm very tired today, I'm absolutely knackered. Changing weather, sleepy. Cheerio.